Can you hear me?
I can.
Good. Do I need this? Do I have to talk?
You probably do. It's pretty loud in here.
Yeah.
If I'm just a priest.
So, as Angel said, I'm Larry Sceurman. I grew up in Bethlehem. And you tell I'm from Bethlehem because they say Bethlehem. And I grew up in K1 section.
Can you say what it's actually supposed to be for the folks who are out of town?
What's that? Bethlehem?
Say Bethlehem again?
Oh, Bethlehem.
Ah.
They're not stupid.
Yeah.
I like the people from Reading, you know me.
So anyhow, I grew up in Bethlehem and I'm a local boy in the Lehigh Valley. And my first book, The Death of Big Butch, this came to me in a dream. Right, so the initial germ of the story, the initial seed of the story, was this dream that I had, and so I set it in a fictional town, which would be in the Lehigh Valley. Right? So I used landmarks and different things. It takes place in 1974, right? And Jimmy is the main character, and he's 26 years old, and he's kind of starting out, and he's married, and he has a child and one on the way, and they're having going through life, right? So it's 5 days in May of 1974 of Jimmy's life, and that's what the story is about. His friend Big Butch, dies, and he goes through this. And then Coffee in the Morning is a collection of short stories, and some of them are pretty short, But when I write, I usually do it in the morning, and I have a cup of coffee. That's why it's called Coffee in the Morning. And the intro part is called Coffee in the Morning. And I'll try to read this to you. The other thing about me, I'm dyslexic. Right? So when I write, I don't type. I speak into my computer. I tell a story to the computer, and it comes up in print. And then I have to correct it because it doesn't always put those same words I'm saying.
As long as it doesn't know better.
Yeah, right. And so I correct it and do whatever I have to do, and I give it to my wife, and she looks at it. She gives me, corrections, and then I give it to my editor, Angel, and she does a lot of stuff with it. Right?
I just challenge some of your ideas, that's all.
So, but she's a great help. She said, "What about this? And think about this." And, and that's what I need.
Your wife here?
Pardon me?
Your wife here? Can you thank her for all the work she does?
She didn't come today. So, but she usually does. She usually does. She's my biggest fan.
As it should be.
So, I'll try to read this part to you. I like to sit and watch the sunrise. Twilight breaking into daylight. A magical time of the day. The night sky conceals creative ideas. In a rare moment, as I sleep, the night sprinkles seeds of stories among my dreams. And then daybreak, the seeds germinate into creative thoughts. When I was in my early 30s, sitting at my kitchen table, and in my boxers with socks on my feet, wearing an old comfortable flannel shirt, a cup of coffee in front of me, and gazing out the back door, I would sit and think about planning my day, planning my future. Sometimes I would write, draw, or paint. Most of the time, I would dream. I remember my mother sitting at the dining room table, looking out the window into the sky, enjoying her morning cup of coffee. She spent her coffee time the same way her mother, my Nana, did. After all the breakfast dishes were cleared away, Nana would sit at the kitchen table with her 2 pink plastic rollers in her hair and a coffee cup. She would sit and she would sip her coffee and gaze into the dining room and beyond the dining room into the living room. It was her time for a cup of coffee, she would say. I think it was the time during which they both planned their day or their next couple days. And it goes on to, about how we have a special time, all of us. Mine is just in the morning. Some may be in the evening when the sun goes down. Some may have it at noon. Doesn't matter. But I encourage you to sip, but not too much sipping. Right? And the sipping kind of lubricates your thoughts and it helps your creativity. So that's my philosophy on that.